Hi, Virginia Conference. I am here with two friends to talk with you today about what's going on with All God's Children Camp. So, first off, I'd like to introduce Lori and Beth. Would you both introduce yourselves?
Sure. My name is Lori, and I'm the executive director of All God's Children Camp.
I'm Beth Christian, and I have been enjoying All God's Children Camp and being part of the ministry for over 20 years. And I'm serving as an on site director.
So, Lori, will you tell us what is All God's Children Camp?
All God's Children Camp is a week-long summer camp for children ages 7 to 12 that have an incarcerated parent. And not only do they get to be involved in all the physical activities that that camp has to offer, which is a lot like zip lining and kayaking, canoeing, swimming, archery, so many other things. So they get to do all of those activities. And also, they hear in a class called Harmony, which is our self esteem building and conflict resolution class, that they truly are somebody. And they are told over and over that during that week that they're fearfully and wonderfully made by a God who wants nothing but more than to have a relationship with them. And we strive to help break the cycle of incarceration and giving respite to families. Um, and yeah.
And so, All God's Children Camp is known in the Virginia Conference. Can you tell us a little bit about the historical background?
Well, it's been wonderful because it's a ministry that so many people have been able to be a part of. We have youth groups that or vacation Bible schools or church groups that will just do things to collect items for camp or to come out and set up cabins. United Methodist Women have sponsored United Women in Faith have sponsored cabins. United Methodist Men have helped us with transportation. So it's been a ministry where everyone in our conference can be a part of it, whether they can be on site at camp or not.
And so not that long ago, Camp Rainbow announced that they were making a change with their conference relationship in the conference, but still very much connected with us. And so at the conference level, there has been a change that conference leadership have made where high level ministries are now not going to be under the umbrella of the conference. So what does this mean for All God's Children Camp?
Well, we're really excited about it for many reasons. One, we're thankful for the conference and the prayers and the support that not only you all have given, but that the churches in our conference have given. Um, as of late, I would say post COVID, we have become more partnerships have been made with other denominations. Right now, we are holding our camp at Camp Chanko on the James, which is an Episcopal camp. And so we are finding more and more Episcopal churches in Virginia wanting to get more involved. And we're just leaning more into that ecumenical space. And so this will allow us to do that, but also understanding that without the continued support of our conference, um, it's very vital for the future of All God's Children Camp.
So what is the timeline of becoming a separate 501c3?
That's been tricky.
Well,
um,
we
Beth,
actually
you wanna
have,
speak on that?
yeah, we've become a 501c3. We still have things that are being filed right now for us on our behalf, but we do have our board, we've got our bylaws, and a lot of great United Methodist people are on our board. But as soon as all of that's settled within the court system, we will be on our way. So hopefully by the end of the month.
And so you've spoken to this a little bit, Lori, but and you can share too, Beth. Why is this going to be a meaningful move? What will this allow All God's Children Camp to do?
Go ahead, Beth.
Well, I think that the biggest part is our partnerships with so many other denominations, the ecumenical ties that we have in the spaces that we're using right now in the camp. And I think that it's been such a blessing to our campers and to the people who have supported us that we're really excited that the umbrella is getting a little bit bigger now.
And I think also too, it opens up more for grants that we may not have been accessible to. Being out on our own, we'll be able to hopefully find different ways that we can be supported outside of always relying on individual donors and churches. While that has supported us for 26 years now, we are growing and we are at a place that we need more funding, and we don't expect our individuals that are already giving above and beyond to dig in even harder. So we are hoping that this will help with the burden financially as well.
So you mentioned donors and supporters in the conference, and I know that that will still remain. When it comes for summertime, are you going to still need mentors, or what are you going to need from the Virginia conference?
Absolutely. I will say, I'll let Beth talk more about the week that she'll need, but through the year, yes, we still need the exact same support that we've always needed. We've talked about prayers are the most important thing, praying for our staff and praying for the children that come to experience the love of God and to hopefully have transformative experiences physically, spiritually, mentally. And we need the support of you all to continue that.
I think one of the most important ways the conference can help our conference churches is to communicate everything that we put out there. That's one of the hardest things to do, is to make sure that our churches do hear about All God's Children's Camp and know when it's coming and know what we need, and, continue those partnerships.
Sponsoring children are also a big thing that the conference level has done and churches have done for us, is to sponsor a child, either paying the way for a child to come. And this year's $500. Like everything else, everything's going up. And so it's $500 this year to sponsor a child. And so, we're hoping that our churches will continue to sponsor children this summer. And we are, again, hoping that our churches will send at least one mentor. Beth and I both, when we talk to churches and we go and speak about All God's Children Camp, we both say, how many churches are there in the United Methodist Conference? What if each church only sent us one mentor? We would have enough mentors for 900, we'd have 900 mentors. So if you think about it, ask isn't super big, but we are still leaning heavily on our churches to send those things to us.
And I hope we can still share the stories of camp. We still have campers who come back as junior mentors, come back as mentors, and just seeing these kids grow up into young adults and going to college or going into a career that they dreamed about having, and coming back to share that with us. We want our conference to still hear those stories that are the happy stories from camp.
Yeah.
Hmm. And so you all have mentioned communication. We can make sure that we show that on the screen right now, but can you let us know what the new website is? And can you let us know an email address for us to reach you at?
Yes, our website is AGC, so for All God's Children, camp.org. And then our email address is allgodschildrencamp.va@gmail.com.
I cannot thank the two of you so much for sharing with us, sharing this decision with us, but also just reminding our conference how much this organization has meant to us, and also how much it's still needed for mentors and for support. And I know that our Virginia churches and individuals will continue to do that. So thank you so much, Lori and Beth.
Thank you, Madeline.
Thank you, Madeline.